Bloodhound Q50 was there when Bloodhound Lil Jeff got killed.
He was, yeah.
Shot and killed. He got shot 12 times. You actually talked about it.
19.
The streets are buzzing with the leaked final moments of Lil Jeff, the Bloodhound's most feared enforcer known as the Pistol Professor. Jeff lived and died by the code of the streets, leaving a trail of bodies and a legacy of chaos from his alleged hits to his ruthless lyrics. Jeff embodied the violent life he rapped about, emulating his idol King Vav. Now as footage of his last stand surfaces, the world gets a raw, unfiltered look at the man behind the myth. Lil Jeff's last moments. Lil Jeff and his right-hand man Q50 were no strangers to the streets. These two were the heart and soul of the Bloodhound gang, known for their ruthless lyrics and even more ruthless actions. Jeff's raps weren't just bars, they were blueprints for the life he lived. He'd spit about jumping out of cars, chasing ops, and turning blocks into war zones, and on June 8th, he was living out one of those verses until it all went sideways. Surveillance footage leaked from that day shows Jeff, Q50, and another shooter rolling up to South Rhodes Avenue, a block Jeff had name-dropped in his WS more times than we can count. The clip starts with Jeff hopping out of the car, gun in hand, and immediately lighting up a dude in bright yellow shorts, later identified as Man, ducks behind a car, bolts up a porch, and tries to dip into a house, but Jeff, he's right on his tail, firing shots like he's in a music video. But here's where it all goes wrong. Someone inside the house starts blasting back. Jeff, caught off guard, gets hit and stumbles backward, collapsing at the bottom of the porch, and then they unload on it. Reports say Jeff was hit 19 times with shooters, dumping an entire mag into his body as he lay there defenseless while Jeff was on the ground. Q50 and the other shooter were still in the mix, trying to hold it down. The footage shows Q50 slipping and falling in as he tries to return fire, injuring his ankle in the process, but even limping he kept shooting, even taking pot shots at a passing car. Why some say the driver was linked to Man, but we may never know for sure. What we do know is that Q50 was outgunned and outmanned. When the driver of their car realized Jeff was done for, he dipped. But here's the wild part: Q50 and the other shooter actually circled back, grabbed Jeff's lifeless body, and took him to the hospital. Yeah, you heard that right, they spun the block dodging bullets just to give Jeff a chance, but it was too late. Q50 was the one who saw Jeff take his last breath on the way to the streets don't stop for nobody, not even a legend like Lil Jeff. By June 9th, the news was everywhere. Twitter was on fire, Reddit threads were popping off, and the police scanners were buzzing with chaos. But for Jeff's crew and family, this wasn't just another headline, this was personal. Jeff's dad took to Facebook, posting throwback pics of his son with the caption, "World." He didn't hold back either, writing, "Let it be known y'all didn't get him, he came trying to get y'all, and what happened." But the saga continues. Clear the streets, some called him out for glorifying and the lifestyle, but others understood the pain of a father who lost his son to the same streets that made him a legend. Then there's Q50, Jeff's cousin and right-hand man, didn't waste time crying in a chilling post. He called Jeff his brother and twin and vowed to do exactly what Jeff had told him to do. Translation: revenge is coming. And if you know Q50, you know he doesn't make empty threats. But here's the thing about the streets: sometimes people don't listen until it's too late. After Lil Jeff's death, Q50 made it clear that the Bloodhounds weren't going to let this slide. He vowed to finish what Jeff started, and anyone who knew Q50 knew he wasn't playing. But Trap City, the set allegedly responsible for Jeff's death, didn't seem to care. In fact, they doubled down on the disrespect, mocking Jeff and Q50 in the most brutal ways possible. Right here, call right. In the days following Jeff's death, Trap City members took to social media to clown the fallen rapper and his crew. Videos surfaced of them reenacting the shooting, laughing as they mimicked Jeff's final moments. One clip showed a Trap City member pretending to collapse on the ground, shouting, I'm hit," while his friends laughed in the background. Another video featured a group of them chanting Trap City K, a direct jab at Jeff's death. The disrespect was the next level, and it didn't stop there. Instagram became a battleground, with Trap City members flooding Lil Jeff's mentions with taunts and memes. The streets were watching, and Trap City was making sure everyone knew they weren't afraid of the Bloodhounds. Meanwhile, the man who took down Lil Jeff would soon become a hero in the Trap City community. The name on everyone's lips after Jeff's death was Trap City Rob, also known as iTrap Rob. According to Chirology, a Reddit user who claimed to have cracked the case, Rob was the one who fired the shots that took Jeff down. Rob had reportedly been arrested several times at the house where the shooting took place, and after Jeff's death, posts quickly circulated naming him as the shooter. A news article confirmed that the shooter was wanted by police, and on June 16, Chai users appeared to identify Rob in a new post. In the photo, Rob was wearing a shirt that seemed to troll Jeff and the way he lost his life, the caption Trap City K. But despite the speculation, Rob was eventually arrested and later released without facing any charges for Jeff's Killing the streets were furious and the Bloodhounds were left with more questions than answers. The feud that got Lil Jeff killed. Yo, y'all already know the name Bloodhounds. This ain't just some random gang. This is a clique that's been holding it down in Chicago for over a decade thanks to rappers like Lil Jeff. Q50 and Vert. The Bloodhounds became one of the most well-known sets in the drill scene, but let's keep it real, this ain't no overnight success story. The Bloodhounds have been deep in the streets since the early days of drill, and their rise to fame is as gritty as it gets. The Bloodhounds were formed during the original drill wave in the early to mid-2010 when Chicago's underground rap scene was just starting to blow up. But don't get it twisted, this ain't just one gang. The Bloodhounds are more like a coalition, a clique made up of members from 4 main sets in the Chatham and Woodlaw neighborhoods: Drill City, MTV 079 400 East, and Chris World. Most of the members come from Drill City, which is why the Bloodhounds primarily claim Drill City's territory. That's the stretch of 79th Street from Ellis Avenue to Cottage Grove. If you know Chicago, you know this area is no joke. It's one of the most dangerous blocks in the city, with shootings, fights, and police chases happening on the regular. This is the same block where Lil Jeff and Q50 can be seen flexing in Jeff's music video for Should Have Saw It. The two are posted up walking around like they own the place, and in their minds they do. However, that soon changed when a feud between the Bloodhounds and Trap City broke. A decade of peace between the gangs. For years the Bloodhounds and Trap City ran together under the banner of Bloodhound 067-9, a coalition that included Drill City, 400 East, MTV 079, and Chris World. This alliance was supposed to be unbreakable, a united front against rival sets. These sets were locked in with no major beef, just holding it down together. It's wild how something as small as a chain can spark a war. But in the streets, respect is everything. Back in 2023, Drill City members allegedly jacked a chain from a Trap City affiliate. This wasn't just any chain, it was engraved with 67 stalking, a symbol of Trap City's pride. To outsiders it might seem petty, but in the drill scene, that's like stealing someone's crown. They know what they so okay. The Bloodhounds at Y was cool. My hom stole the chain, bro. He tread like took it. He stole my own. Trap City wasn't having it. They cut ties with the alliance, and the streets quickly divided. Most sets sided with Drill City, leaving Trap City isolated and furious. The tension was thick, and it didn't take long for the first shots to be fired. The real turning point came on March 16, 2023, when Z Money, aka Z Nelson, Jeff's cousin and a key figure in the Bloodhounds, was gunned down in a brutal ambush. Z Money was posted in his ride on 79th and Kimball, waiting for his homie to finish up at the dry cleaner. Out of nowhere, a whip pulls up and shots ring out. Z Money tried to dip, but they caught him in a hail of bullets. Over 29 times his boy returned fire, but it was too late. Z Money was gone. The streets started buzzing with rumors. Some said Z Money's own people, his old crew from Trap City, set him up. Others claimed it was over a girl or a stolen chain. Whatever the reason, the trust was shattered. Jeff and Q50 tatted Z Money's name on their eyelids and Z's on their trigger fingers, vowing to make Trap City pay. Lil Jeff wasn't the type to let a slide go unanswered. In June 2023, he made his first major move. Trap City member Lil, real name Jaleel Goes, was sitting in an Uber in the Little Italy neighborhood when Jeff allegedly pulled up and opened fire. Little Italy, also known as University Village, is one of the most upscale and gentrified areas in Chicago. It's a neighborhood known for its trendy restaurants, coffee shops, and low crime rates. But on this night, the streets came calling. Lil, a member of Trap City, was in the back seat of the car when someone approached on foot and opened fire. Witnesses reported hearing more than 20 shots, suggesting the use of a high-capacity firearm. The shooter didn't miss. Lil was hit multiple times through the rear passenger window. The ride-share driver Robert Smith acted quickly, rushing Lil to the hospital, but it was too late. Lil was pronounced dead upon arrival. For Smith, the experience was traumatic. He later shared how Lil likely passed away during the short drive to the hospital, a chilling reminder of how fast life can be taken in the streets. Lil's death sent shock through the community, not just because of the brazenness of the hit, but because of who he was. Lil was well connected to Project Hood, a local organization dedicated to combating violence in Chicago. Pastor Corey Brooks, the founder of Project Hood, confirmed that Le was the son of an employee and released a statement mourning his loss. We are deeply saddened by the loss of Jel Gones, a young man who was connected to our organization through his family. This senseless violence has to stop, Brooks said. Despite the high-profile nature of the case, no arrests were made. The shooter vanished into the night, leaving behind a trail of questions and a community in mourning. In his music and social media posts, Jeff taunted Trap City over Lil's death. The very next day, on June 26, 2023, Lil Jeff, JB Bin Laden, and Q50 dropped their remix to Lil Yachty's Coffin, reusing the beat and creating their own version of the song. The timing was no coincidence. The music video, filmed before Lil's death, begins with Q50 showing an old video of Z Money, emphasizing the impact Z Money's death had on their lives. The lyrics are filled with the usual themes of violence and retribution, but one line Stood out, catch him in a fishbowl, now he's swimming with the fishes in the trenches. A fishbowl is a car with no tint, basically a death trap, and when Jeff dropped that bar everyone knew exactly what he meant. Lil got left in a rideshare whip with clear windows and Jeff made sure the ops knew that was no coincidence. This wasn't just rap, it was war music. The Bloodhounds weren't playing with Trap City, and Jeff made sure to let the whole city know his name was ringing bells and his rep as a fearless, ruthless stepper was only growing. But Jeff wasn't done. Just 2 months later on Killer Jeff wasn't one of them. He embraced the chaos, the violence, and the danger, and he died doing what he loved. For more content like this, click on the video showing on your screen now.